Babies are a big business, yeah. They such a big business that they make everybody think they should have one so that they can make more money. Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's, I think that every life should have a purpose. I think we should all have a purpose in our life. We shouldn't be here without a purpose. But I certainly don't think that every woman's purpose is to have a child. And I think that that's where, our society really puts a lot of pressure on women as if that's where their purpose lies. And I think it's a shame because what happens is a lot of times women feel the pressure to do that. They have children when they're not ready, when they don't really want them. And then the children have to suffer because of that. And also they are not spending the energy finding what their real purpose is, and therefore they're not as happy with themselves, and and this all feeds into the fact that it comes from the fact that people get so much pressure on them to have children. Cultural thing, absolutely. I think that this film didn't teach me anything really that I didn't know before. It was one of those things that I think we just were able to bring our own life experience to it, because the book is really very scientific. It's about the actual the evolution of the body and the child. But this was really about the emotional experience and the human connection, the relationships and the ideas of how all these different ways to bring a child into your life. There's as many children as there are. That's how many different ways there are to bring a child into one's life. So, it's an interesting that's why I think it's so relatable to everyone, because people can just see themselves in any number of these relationships.
Yeah, well, I mean, our storyline was really interesting because we just met each other. We probably had known each other for 2 months before finding out that we were pregnant, and I just think it's interesting. Because that does happen. That does happen. That people kind of get caught up in a moment, and so in the whole process of us being pregnant, we're also trying to find out about each other and figure out who you are, and trying to make sure the waters aren't rough, because I don't know how she's going to react if I say this, and so it's a difficult situation we were put in, but then also trying to figure out how we're going to bring this life into the world and how we're going to raise it.
Absolutely, and that's the whole point with what Matt was just saying, was that these two people don't really know one another. I mean, that's totally relatable, because a lot of people, that's how a lot of babies happen. You know what I mean? And that it makes you have to, for these two people, make them better people. They have to realize that compromise is part of this. This partnership, that you have to find the middle ground, and they help one another in that development.